Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome again to another game of Skytear. I am your host, the Commander, reporting in for duty, and joining me is the man who is Carl's biggest and only advocate, Timbunn. Welcome.
Hey, I'm not the only advocate.
That's true. But you are his best advocate, I will say that.
And probably the biggest.
I would say so.
All right, so we are having, this is the playoff game for third and fourth place in the Americas regional tournament.
Yes.
And we have Kirito versus Clinton. Who won the coin toss?
Clinton won the coin toss and elected to go first, I believe.
Yep, okay, that makes sense. And we got a draft happening. We got Clinton choosing Kichi, Yami, and Hogosai. And then Ryan choosing Estrida, Shillavi, and Freyhel.
With Gilbjorn in the reserve.
Gilbjorn in the reserves. Who is... Oh, he hasn't picked a reserve yet.
Correct.
Clinton. What do you think of these decks and these lineups?
So I love them. I'm a huge fan of Clinton's multi-mage deck, and we do see Satheru coming in for Clinton, so Clinton is going to bring double mage along with the Hogosai Yami that we see very commonly on the Ashen Pass. I think both of us know what Clinton's opening play is likely to be here, given that he's going first, and we'll get into that in just a second. Both of these players, I think, will aim for some kills here, as we do see our objectives for this game are the Tamer, defeat 2 enemy heroes using an outsider, as well as Onslaught, defeat 3 enemy heroes. Ryan has elected to bring the original outsider, Clinton bringing the Dark Vigilante, so both of these players brought outsiders that are able to kill, and kill very well. Yami,
yeah,
Hogosai.
Very good at it.
Yes. Yami, Kichi, Hogosai, Freyhel, Shillavi, all heroes that are very good at killing people as well. Ryan piloting the now infamous Suicide Squad deck, and Clinton piloting a deck that, if I have the correct one, is titled Flip Ya For Real.
That makes sense.
Which is an awesome name.
I will say, I feel like Estrida is an outlier in a kill deck.
Yes.
She doesn't really do much killing, although she is pretty good at defending against them with the disarm she can give with the shapeshift.
Yeah, and I imagine that's probably part of it.
Yeah, but it's just an interesting lineup here, and I'm excited to see what they do. They're mulliganing, and then we're going to get kicked off here.
So looking
at the home that don't... Go ahead.
I was going to say, Estrida, just for reference to augment your point, she brings Gathering Storm, Redirect, and Chasm to the field. So again, not really augmenting with any kill cards.
But some good control cards.
It's true.
And card draw is good.
Yes, yeah. Gilbjorn will provide Through the Eyes for some disarm and rampant hatred. Brilvar is not on the field, so we don't really care about him. Freyhel does have Strength over Pain as well as Sinkholes, so there is some measure of 3 manas for Ryan. And then Shillavi has Discharges, Nourishes, and Sacrifices. So, interesting approach there from him.
Yeah, definitely. On Ryan's side, we have a mulligan of a Glacial Rebirth, which is Freyhel's ult, and 2 Rampant Hatreds.
Yep.
That's an interesting choice.
Yeah. That's three manas that are going away. So, all right, so Yami going to move, worship, and then skirmish into the dome. I'm sure that nobody is shocked at this play at all.
Nope, not one bit.
So that will be, yep. So that will be kind of the standard opening that Clinton is known to do, especially when he goes first, is to have Yami move to the center, control token Hex, worship on the central hero, and then skirmish against one of the 2 that she is now adjacent to, and then bounce into the dome right like that. Clinton has made it very clear that he really favors getting control of the Dark Vigilante round 1 and using it to kill someone, and with both objectives being kill objectives, all the more reason to do so.
I agree completely. I also think his choice of first target is a very good one. I think against this Suicide Squad deck, you have to either go after Freyhel or Shillavi first. Just to get that off of the table.
Yes.
The piercing with Freyhel or the revenge from Shillavi.
Yes.
Both can just do so much work in the game.
Indeed.
You got Ryan moving Shillavi up to the dome for the OG outsider and leading from deck.
Now, important to note here, a lot of people might think to instantly contest Clinton for his dome. Most people that have played against his deck at this point, at this level of the tournament, know that that's kind of the death trap, because then he just sends all of his people against you and kills you. So Ryan very, very intelligently saying, you know what, I'm not going to fight you. You'll get Dark Vigilante, I'll get OG, and then we'll work our way in through the game as a result of what happens after that.
Definitely. I think we're going to see someone go up and contest that top dome and lay some hate damage into Shilovi.
Yeah, I would agree. Hokusai can easily make it into the dome, potentially with a move, skirmish, and worship against Shilovi, do some damage there. Kichi seems a little bit less likely, as Kichi would have to move and skirmish into the dome, which would be pretty telegraphed at that point, and Ryan does have Skytear discharges, so let's see what happens. So Hokusai is going to come over here, form the Great Wall of Clinton. We do see the skirmish action moving into the dome there, and I assume a lead action.
From hand, probably.
Yep. And the chat already calling for blood, just as we are. Everyone is pretty much guaranteeing, as we are, that this is going to be violence. This is not going to be a control game. This is going to be a kill everyone.
Yeah, that just sort of is what the Ashen Pass does.
Yes.
There's without being able to respawn your heroes, the killing of heroes is just so valuable.
Yep. And we see Ryan going in there, skirmish, or moving over, attacking the minion. Now, will he go for a skirmish into the dome? Because obviously he's going to sacrifice 2 hit points from Astria here, spawn a minion. So that's going to give him currently a 5-2 lead in the center. Do you think he goes over into dome number 2?
100%.
Okay. Thinking about it, is there a response from Clinton perhaps? Maybe we're going to see the discharge coming down. Maybe not.
Maybe not. He could also just be skirmishing to position a little better.
Mm-hmm.
Open up a lane for Frail to move into the dome if she needs to, if Kichi goes over there and leads.
Yep. So looking at Clinton's deck real quick, since we went through what Ryan's deck brings. Okay, there's the Skytear discharge from Kichi. Yep. So does Astrida cross the line? Yes, she does. So she's going to take 2 damage plus the flip for crossing the line from discharge. And because Kichi played it, it will be piercing. So we'll see. This could deal anywhere from... Ooh, a +3 on the flip. Ouch. So Astrida down to 9 HP. As that's a +3 on the flip. Skytear discharge is 2 plus the flip, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure I'm not out of my mind. Should bring Astrida down to 9 HP, should it not? Or am I missing something?
It should.
Okay, I didn't think I was completely out of my mind. As that does deal piercing damage. So yep, there we go. Okay, very good.
I think we have a new target for Kichi.
Oh yeah. I'm going to take a quick peek here since we did talk about Ryan's deck. Satheru is bringing Vampirism, Discharges, Clear Minds, and Dooms. Yami brings Psychic Shield, Doom, and Time Glitch. Kichi brings Discharge, Clear Mind, Nightmare Incarnate, Unstoppable. And Hokusai brings Impervious, Quick Shots, and Shield Slams. So Kichi could potentially, with a move, skirmish attack, possibly augmented by a Clear Mind, or pop the Flux and use a Nightmares Incarnate. He might try to kill Astrida. I think that would be a little bit aggressive, but with some good flips, could be done.
I think it's definitely possible to kill her this activation, but I also think it's more likely to set up the kill for the first activation of next round.
Or use the Dark Vigilante, perhaps.
Or Dark Vigilante getting that Tamer kill, yeah.
Yeah, soften Astrida up, and then just let the DV move in from Ryan's dome, or from Clinton's dome, really. Astrida's at about the midpoint of the map, so it's going to require...
Yeah, I think either direction is fine.
Mm-hmm.
I probably would go with Ryan's on so that it creates more of a wall on his side of the board rather than mine.
Now, the interesting thing to note...
Pretty comparable.
The interesting to note, though, is from the current position, Ryan could just drop the OG Outsider in that 3-hex area and make an entire wall and prevent the Dark Vigilante from being able to get there.
Sure.
So well, the thing, too, though, is the Dark Vigilante will spawn after the Outsider's placed, so Clinton will get to see the way that the wall works. All right, meanwhile, skirmish action from Kichi does +2 damage there, so Astrida down to 7 HP, and then Kichi's going to hop back out and attack a minion.
Interesting.
Okay, so that's going to actually result in a tie in the lane. Huh.
not wanting to have to worry about it next round, maybe.
Indeed. Now, this does make an interesting situation here, as Ryan now has to choose, does he spawn the outsider such that it attacks Kichi or defends Estrida? He cannot do both.
Well, I don't think he can defend Estrida with it, right?
I should say, by defend Estrida, I should say make it more difficult for the Dark Vigilante to get to her. You are correct. You cannot defend Estrida wholly, but you can at least make it so the Dark Vigilante would have to use 2 actions just to get to her. So both players will win the domes that they've fought for here. So let's go ahead and take a look at the abilities. As we mentioned, the outsider can be placed anywhere across its dome's perimeter. 2 inside, 1 outside, or 2 outside, 1 inside. Its special abilities include Divine Conduit. Target friendly hero takes a worship action. The Shockwave deals 0 plus a card flip's piercing damage to the target hero. And then push them 2 hexes. Or Instill Energy, draw 1 power card. Meanwhile, we do see that Freyhill is going to go and attack the minion there, so is going to end up winning the lane as a result.
I imagine he's going to shapeshift Estrida. Oh,
no, we're going to skirmish and form the Great Wall of Ryan here. So that actually does make it a little bit harder for the Dark Vigilante to get to. Oh, actually, now Estrida is protected, right? Because the outsider spawns directly above Estrida, and Clinton just can't get into the dome.
Yeah. Definitely.
Okay. All right, Mermaid defended. And we're going to heal her up just for good measure. Shillavi plays Nourish, and Freyhill had played a Sacrifice.
All of the heals. Oh, another one?
Oh, interesting. We're just maxing out. Okay, so we're going to heal up Shillavi as well. So
yeah. I don't know that I agree with this. The reality is he doesn't have these heals now.
Right.
Because he's so proactive with them. I know he's saving the mana, technically.
Mm-hmm. Right. Interesting.
Maybe it's right.
Well, Ryan wins the center lane by 1, so the control token advances 1 against Clinton there. No movement of the minions, as they're all still within line of sight. Spawn 2 new ones for each player. And then we will see what the outsiders do. So with this positioning here, as we mentioned, Ryan will be able to spawn the outsider such that Clinton is not able to use the Dark Vigilante against any of Ryan's heroes at all. So Kichi's positioning actually coming back to kind of hurt Clinton. Although I guess you could use the Dark Vigilante to move through, but that's still with the with the way the outsider spawns, like so. That's yeah, okay, you can just do that and completely block it off. Yeah, Dark Vigilante cannot get into the dome at all. As we mentioned, the Dark Vigilante must spawn adjacent to a tower or a nexus, either yours or your opponent's, and then it gets a bunch of augments to its skirmish actions. Sever gives it +1 damage. Skewer gives piercing to all of its actions. Slash allows you to use skirmish actions against minions, and these abilities do persist throughout the entire round. However, with Ryan dropping the outsider, it doesn't really matter what the orientation is. There is no way for Clinton to get into dome number 2.
Yeah, that Kichi placement is clutch. I do imagine that we'll just see the DV clean up 3 minions here.
Yes.
Which is nothing to sniff at, you know.
That's true. I mean, as it is currently 5-2 minions, Clinton definitely will appreciate the reduction in pressure. But let's see what Ryan does with the outsider here. I imagine at least one action will be attacking Kichi. And then possibly drawing a card. Since he is down to 3, you can use Divine Conduit, and then your end of round draw 2 means that you're at 6, so you don't have to discard anything.
Tinting the outsider?
Looks like it. And also, because the outsiders are relevant, we're going to go ahead and drop their HP tokens on the tracker. With Onslaught and the Tamer objectives, killing an outsider does count to fulfilling those objectives. So probably not going to see the original outsider attacked, as it does have 20 hit points and 2 armor, but still possible that we might go after the Dark Vigilante if we can catch him in a couple AoE effects.
You can see going after the OG. It's only 1 extra health, and Clinton's got a bunch of piercing, and Hokusai can reduce some armor.
That is a fair point, yeah.
I don't think that either of them are actually going to die, but
it is possible.
It's definitely a possibility.
All right, so we do see a strength over pain flip there against Kichi. So we have a 0 on the flip there.
So it looks like that was a skirmish and a
attack. Okay, so that brings Kichi down to 11 HP. And then does he use Divine Conduit? Yes, he does, because his hand size is now 4, so that's going to be all for the outsider. So now, Clinton, go ahead and do minion cleanup with the Dark Vigilante.
Or he could, get 2 piercing skirmishes and an attack on the OG outsider.
That's true. He could start working it down. And now that he's seen all of Ryan's heal cards come out, he doesn't have to worry about Freyhill potentially healing the outsider to death on a chain reaction play. So that might actually, all that healing that you mentioned using earlier might actually come out to hurt Ryan. Because we do know Ryan does like to blow a whole bunch of healing cards to just massively chain damage against an outsider to kill them.
It's true. Once again, I don't know that that's going to actually happen this game, but it's fun to theorize about.
Absolutely. I would love it for a game because, of course, once an outsider is killed, they cannot spawn for the rest of the game. Winning the dome then is pointless unless you're playing Tactician, which, of course, would still give you a Tactician point. But it would be interesting to see if that actually did have some implications. If with an early kill, if the game goes to round 2 or 3, then that just means the dome is essentially a worthless prize at that point.
Yeah, for sure. He's thinking about this last one.
He wants it. He wants to start chipping away at that outsider. Slice off one of his hands. 3 more to go.
It's like a Hydra. More will grow back.
I would love a Hydra outsider. That would be awesome.
That would be sick.
I don't know how we could work it into the lore, but like if we had a Hydra outside, that'd be great. All right, so 3 minions down, so that does neutralize the minion advantage that Ryan built during round 1. And so we'll see what happens in round number 2. So do you have any thoughts of what Clinton might possibly want to use that flex card for?
I mean, I would imagine it's going to be to stack some 1-mana cards, but I don't know what combination of 1-mana cards he wants. Trying to look here.
Possibly maybe an Impervious and then into like a double Shield Slam or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. Just to really get the effect stacking of those. Is he running Granite Skins?
He is not. No. Hokusai has 2 Imperviouses, a Quick Shot, 3 Shield Slams, and an Unstoppable.
Yeah, makes sense.
All right, well, that looks like all for round number 1. We're on to round number 2. And it looks like Kichi is going first. Old Man Kichi is highlighted at any rate, so we're going to assume that he's going first. Again, Kichi can't really do too much here. You could attack minions, maybe do a lead action. You could get a mark on Astrida. I'm not sure how effective that would be. I almost feel like well, no, if you sent Yami in there, then she would be 1 versus 3, and that just doesn't feel good. All right, Hokusai is going to go ahead and go. So perhaps Hokusai comes into the center, worships on Astrida, and then attacks a minion or leads?
I think that's probably what's going to happen here.
All right, well, let's see what happens. Clinton has declared a move. Does Ryan end up playing a discharge here in response? Freyhill is shapeshifted, so that could potentially deal some piercing damage. Nope. Hokusai goes to the middle. All right. Here comes the worship action, I assume, as Astrida is now within 3.
And he's also threatening shield slams here to push that lane back a bit. I like this positioning a lot.
Oh, yeah. And Hokusai is at 17 HP, and he's seen a bunch of the heal cards, so he knows he's not in immediate danger of just getting blown up by Freyhill.
Yep, he attacked.
Okay. And then I assume we'll see either the lead or the worship. Which do you like more in this case, lead or worship?
I mean, I'm all for blood, so let's worship.
As am I. All right, violence, violence.
Especially this early in the turn, you don't want to waste a lead if he's just gonna,
Yep, there it is.
In the dome.
All right, worship on Estrida +2. Okay, so 3 damage each to both Freyhill and Estrida, and she is now marked. Although that doesn't really do a whole lot, as Hokusai is not able to see her currently, so the armor reduction effect does not apply. But it does make it a little bit more dangerous if she comes into the lane in order to do anything.
Definitely.
Although you... Okay, Shillavy's going to play Gathering Storm. So Ryan's going to boost up his hand size here.
Yeah, I don't know what he does here. It's a really, sticky wicket on how he wants to leave this dome.
Like, you could... this would be super inefficient, but, like, you could pop Estrida out, kill a minion, spawn a minion, and then pop back in and maintain the Great Wall of Ryan.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's just kind of like letting Clinton slow push, because you're not... Unless you're, like, trying to just work Kichi down little by little. I don't know. And play for turn 3 or something?
Yeah, I don't know either.
All right.
It's like Shillavy's going, healing Estrida.
Yep. Freyhill's passive allows Estrida to boost her HP back up. And we're going to send Shillavy out into the wild. All right.
So far out in the wild.
Very far. Oh, we're flipping against the Dark Vigilante. Okay, so that's 1 damage to the Dark Vigilante. Okay. That happened.
Exhilarating.
Dark Vigilante takes 1 damage, down to 18 hit points. And a lead from the deck. Okay, so Yami can teleport into the dome. That seems not a good idea. Because then Ryan just kind of turns and focuses her down. But I don't know.
Tries to focus her down.
Tries to focus her down, I should say. You're right. Tries to focus her down. But I don't know what you do with Kichi here. Like, do you continue what Ryan started and maybe just move Kichi next to the Dark Vigilante and start attacking him?
It's definitely possible. I think you worship to at least predict 1.
Well, you would get to predict 2 from where you're at right now, right? Because Estrida...
Well, it's in his line of sight.
Oh, that's true. That's right. I forgot. Kichi is also within line of sight. All right. Well, anyways, Yami's going. She is going to move through the minion. Dead minion there from her passive ability. Whenever she steps through a minion for the first time each turn, she is able to kill them off. Going to worship. Targeting Estrida. Moves adjacent to Estrida there. Does 1 plus the flip there. So 1 damage to Estrida. That is 1 damage because Hokusai cannot see you.
Does he attack the DV here?
Why not?
I don't know.
I mean, you certainly don't want to attack
lead,
OG.
Maybe?
Yeah, I mean, a lead action might be nice. Hokusai didn't lead. This is bizarre, is what this is, because, like, what this does here is it does prevent Estrida from moving out and then skirmishing back into the dome. But this is just bizarre. I'm sorry. Like, I don't have any analysis. Like, I'm not sure what Ryan wants to get out of the Great Wall here, because eventually Clinton just slow pushes the lane at this rate. Like, Ryan doesn't take any tower damage this turn, but afterward, For a deck that is named Suicide Squad, Ryan is being rather proactive about living. I feel like we're being cheated on the name of his deck.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes the cards just deal you a hand that you gotta slow play like this, I think.
Mm-hmm. Also, Tape would like to point out Ashen Pass Wall plays is everything this map is not about. And I agree. This map is about violence and fighting, and we're getting none of that right now. I want my money back.
That's fair.
All right, so Ryan is still thinking. So he does have both Freyhill and Astrida shapeshifted. But again, I'm not sure what good any of that does him. So I guess the thing too is that Yami's positioning makes it so that Kichi doesn't get into the dome without using a fast. If one of Ryan's heroes leave, but you could also just position them such that Kichi wouldn't be able to get around them anyways. And then Shillavi can hold down the dome, and so you could have like Astrida and Freyhill go out into the lane or something. But
yeah, it's just a bizarre game.
It really is. Like I was expecting them to just like go at each other, start flipping. Clinton would throw down some yellow direct damage cards. Ryan would try to heal damage with Freyhill. People would be dying, and instead we've got this.
Great Wall of Ryan.
It's true. Now, of course,
another Gathering Storm.
Okay, so Ryan really going in on building his hand size here.
Hand. Yeah.
He's up to 8 now, and so unless he plays some as a lead from hand, or some of them from Astrida, then he's going to have to discard at the end of this round.
I mean, if he stays there, he doesn't need to lead at all.
That's true. I wonder if he's digging for Song of the Siren.
Maybe?
Because I know we've seen Glacial Rebirth, but I don't think we saw Song or Dance or Feral Vitality, although I guess with Gilbarn currently on the bench, you don't really care about his ultimate. And the thing, too, is this Great Wall only lasts for so long, because once we get to turn 3, if Clinton has Supernova, then he just walks along the wall, uses Supernova, and blasts them all anyways. Of course, that only does 4 damage, mind you, but the wall will eventually start... All right, finally, we got something going here. We're going to move. Freyhill and Astrida's going to... Oh, God, here we go. He's going to kill the Dark Vigilante. Okay, so Astrida is playing Skytear Discharge, and Freyhill, I assume, is going to hop, 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 and land next to the Dark Vigilante. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Okay, so this is why we call this deck the Suicide Squad. So what's going to happen now is that 3 stacks of Skytear Discharge go on the stack, and Ryan is going to use those to proc 3 instances of Revenge against the Dark Vigilante. Revenge is Shillavi's passive ability that goes off whenever a shapeshifted hero within 3 hexes of Shillavi loses HP. They get to proc 1 plus the flip against target adjacent hero, which in this case is now the Dark Vigilante. So, does Clinton have some sort of a response to Ryan's shenanigans? I see that Tim is stunned into silence at his utter contempt for this kind of play.
No, I'm just trying to think of what he could have.
Does he have maybe a strength over pain? Going for a okay, Yami's going to play Doom. You can't see her. I don't think Yami can do that.
Yeah.
I also don't think it matters because Astrida cannot heal you at this point.
Unless he's dooming the Vigilante.
Well, he pinged Astrida, though. Or he pinged Freyhill, but why would you doom the Dark Vigilante? Because...
So he can't play any heal cards on her?
Freyhill's out of mana, though.
Oh, Freyhill, yeah. I was looking at Astrida's mana.
Yeah, Astrida could heal Freyhill, potentially, after she goes back into the dome or something, but... Okay, well, that was interesting. So Freyhill is going to take 2 damage from the discharge. Of course, Estrida does not do piercing, so Freyhill's armor does mitigate this a little bit. So 2 damage lost to Freyhill. Now Freyhill will do revenge against the Dark Vigilante. And that's a +2, so that's going to deal 3 damage to the Dark Vigilante, bringing him down to 15 HP. Oh, are we setting up the Dark Vigilante for the OG to kill? Because I don't think Clinton wins the dome at this point. Oh, there's the +3 on the Freyhill flip. That's not where you wanted to see the +3.
That's definitely not where you want to see it. It's Freyhill, definitely within kill range.
Yep, Freyhill's down to 8. And now the revenge flip against the Dark Vigilante here. This will be 1+. Oh, no! You wanted those reversed. Actually, no, you didn't necessarily want them reversed because then the revenge wouldn't have procced, but... Oh, that's not good. So there's the problem with the Suicide Squad deck is if you get the flips in the wrong order, so this one right here, that's -1 there, Freyhill takes no damage, and so therefore no revenge proccing. And we have a question. Is Ryan optimizing his hand, or did he find what he's digging for? Given that I have do not have access to his hand, I have no idea. We do, however, see now that Freyhill is going to take 2 additional damage there, and so she does 2 damage to the Dark Vigilante. So Freyhill is out of mana, so she can't use Strength over Pain to do a frenzied attack. Does she skirmish and do this twice more? She's getting dangerous. Like, at this point, Kichi goes, moves, skirmish, attack, and guarantees the kill pretty much.
Yeah, no, it's 30. I mean, he could skirmish back in just to... I don't know, that's still 2 more flips against her.
Well, if he skirmishes back in, it would only be 1, right?
There's 2 discharges, right?
Oh, did he do... Oh, he did do double discharge. I'm sorry. That's why he was...
That's why there's...
Oh!
6...
Yeah. I was wondering why we were doing so many flips. I missed the second discharge. That makes sense. Okay, thank you. Okay, so the Dark Vigilante is actually down to 6 now, so DV actually within kill range.
If he doesn't kill these, then Kichi can just double kill here.
Yeah.
Not that that's a VC, but...
It would be 2 points on Onslaught and put Clinton at game point, though. So, yeah, so...
And get 4 cards.
Yeah, and get 4 cards as well, yeah. So Eric also joining us in the confusion of why is she still taking damage, and yes, it is because there were 2 discharges played. Tim has the freedom of camera movement. I do not, so I have to make sure to pay attention for when they flash up on the screen. I missed it, but thanks to your expert eagle eye, we knew that Freyhill was still taking damage and still damaging the Dark Vigilante.
The biggest issue I have with the Revenge Skytear Discharge combination is how confusing the stack gets.
Yes, yeah, you do have to pay attention to how the stack ends up resolving. And Tape also missed that as well, so luckily we're okay then.
I do what I can.
Tim is the eagle eye master for all of us.
Just call me Sakoshi.
Hey, Sakoshi's not on this field though.
That's his ability, right? That's what it's called.
Is it? I forget. I know that would be the effect. Eagle eye. Is that his? Okay.
Eye.
All right. Very nice.
Nailed it.
You know everything about the Skytear.
I do. All of the Skytear.
All right. So what is the third word on Yami's ultimate?
The third word? Me?
Well, I was going for the flavor text, but yeah, based on how I phrased that, me would be correct. I really, at first, as soon as I came out, I'm like, wait, I phrased that wrong. He's going to say me, and it's going to sound really dumb. Oh, that was so good. That was a tragedy. Also, we appear to have been invaded at this point. We would like to welcome His Majesty, Pastor Ian, who is joining us for a very special TriCast.
I heard you could use the voice of an angel.
It's true.
Always.
That's why I invited
Always.
Tim.
Oh.
All right, we got something happen here. I missed it.
Ryan is going for the skirmish play, so he is in fact going to, I think, continue these shenanigans. Possibly just at this point going to kill Freyhill so that Gilbjorn can come in ready.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, so skirmishing against the DV? Is that what's happening?
Yep, so you're going to skirmish against the Dark Vigilante, and then you would use the movement actions to optimize the damage.
Now,
Nope, he's going to skirmish against Hokusai.
Yeah, he's going after Hokusai for... Oh, probably just to keep the DV harder to kill. He didn't get it?
Yep, -1.
Oh, -1.
Okay. 1, 2. Yeah, I think at this point we're going to kill Freyhill, and that way...
So if this kills Freyhill prematurely, it removes the stacks of revenge, or...
Correct, yes. Freyhill's, the revenge stacks do not go off. Now, Freyhill will most likely opt not to revenge at this point if keeping the Dark Vigilante harder to kill is the main objective here.
So the revenge, there's no reason not to if you lost the HP, right?
Correct. And there we
That's
go.
a dead Freyhill.
That is a dead Freyhill. So, Clinton will get the onslaught point plus the card draw from Freyhill dying, but the benefit here is that Gilbjorn comes in ready.
Indeed, which is a super big advantage in this type of matchup.
Yes. Especially given that both Astrida and Freyhill are shapeshifted, which means that if Kichi does not finish the Dark Vigilante, then Gilbjorn can simply move, worship, and then skirmish, and with almost all likelihood kill the Dark Vigilante.
So I may be a little late to the party, but why are we trying to kill the Dark Vigilante?
Because... Go ahead, Tim.
Well, Ryan created this wall of heroes where
Keep going.
Clinton has not been able to get into the dome and has not been able to do the damage that he wants to do. And Ryan started hitting the Dark Vigilante without staying outside in the lane to try to get the obstinacy kill on it, I believe.
Gotcha. The onslaught kill.
Yeah.
Okay.
Meanwhile...
Did Clinton draw his cards from Frail dying?
I think so. I think he was at 4.
Okay.
Also, Tape taking this time to express his utter disdain for the fact that Ryan is allowed to do this and get away with it. But those are the rules. As you know, it's not illegal. It may be the height of degeneracy and dishonorable, but it is legal. And really, that's all that matters.
And I believe we're talking about the suicide.
Yep.
Yep.
Freyhill killing herself and then Gilbjorn getting to come in ready. All right, so Kichi is going to go ahead and worship against the Dark Vigilante. So this is going to allow him to predict 3. I'm sorry, just predict 1. It does need to be within line of sight. Predict 2, if I could get it right. That would be awesome.
Looks like Kichi's taking a little bit of health, so if he decides to attack the Vigilante, he's also going to be able to heal up a little bit.
Yes.
If I had $1 for every time I missed that trigger, I would have a lot of dollars. I always forget about that heal.
I would have 0 because I don't play Kichi. So, I'm okay. Now, with Kichi's positioning, the Dark Vigilante only has 6 HP. If Kichi has if Clinton has a Nightmare Incarnate, which is very likely that he does, I think Nightmare Incarnate plus attack just guarantees the Dark Vigilante dies, and we're on game point.
Which is crazy.
Indeed. But it's also really funny because we were pretty sure that the outsiders were not going to get attacked, and we were wrong.
We were wrong.
Mistakes were made in the calls. But yeah, basically what happened, Ian, the first turn, I'm not sure how far back it was till you joined, but Ryan just formed the Great Wall of Ryan, and then used the OG outsider to completely prevent Clinton from getting the Dark Vigilante into the dome at all. And so Clinton basically just killed 3 minions with the Dark Vigilante and then ended him where he stood. And since then, it's turned to let's kill the Dark Vigilante.
It's a great play though by Ryan
Oh,
to
yes.
form that wall though.
It
I
was.
really like it.
Yep. All right, so we see the attack action coming down, 3 plus the flip. And, oh, that's dead Dark Vigilante. So we are on game point now. 2 kills, and also, as we mentioned, Dark Vigilante's Dome is now worthless. Tactician is not a winning condition here. And so... why did we put the Dark Vigilante's token back? He's dead. Okay, there we go. So now... we just have to kill off one more hero for Clinton, and that's GG, it looks like.
And Clinton's deck, I think, is poised to do that pretty well.
Oh, yes. Clinton's deck is definitely locked and loaded. He's got Nightmare Incarnates ready. Round 3, you're going to have Curse of Years from Kichi. You could just cut somebody's HP in half and then, finish them off with... potentially Yami's Nightmare Incarnate or Hokusai using some Shield Slams, depending on positionings of the board. But Clinton is in a very strong position. He's also got total control of the lane right now.
Yeah, I'm really liking Clinton's position here. I do know that this squad deck can just put out a bajillion damage out of nowhere.
Yep.
While she'll be still alive.
Yes.
Frail being dead makes that a little bit harder.
Indeed.
Especially with Yami and Hokusai on the board.
Mm-hmm.
That 18 health on Yami and the 2 armor on Hokusai makes them both pretty darn durable.
So Tim, what do you see as Ryan's win condition at this point?
I think it's gotta be Onslaught, but you just gotta be careful and not lose. Which is tough because he's already, played through a lot of the heal cards before they shuffled in.
Yep.
But it's definitely possible. I mean, if anything can, shovel out of a hole, it's blue, right? Or not?
No, I mean you're 100%.
No, we agree. We agree.
Okay.
No,
I
don't
didn't
worry.
know if that almost sounded like a rhetorical question.
That's what I thought as well. I was like, I'm not sure if he wants me to respond or if he's just like stating that rhetorically for the listeners. We apologize for leaving you hanging. Okay, fair enough.
Well, I will say, while the guys are deciding on their play, I just finished up my Clash match for the month against Emergency Nines, and we decided to play with new cards and new heroes.
Mm-hmm.
And I played a Nintaka blue control list, put out a bunch of minions. But I can tell you that Release the Spirits is real good.
Yeah, it's one of the best
cards.
cards.
It's so good. I love Release the Spirits.
It makes blue a lot harder to play.
It definitely was.
Did you like Nantaka, though?
Well, he died real fast. So he didn't really get to do a whole lot. And I lost the game to an obstinacy victory condition.
Well, at least Carl died in vain.
He did.
Carl will live on in our hearts and in our memes, however.
Indeed. What do you guys think Ryan's outs here are? He is drawing all of the cards.
He's burning through his Gathering Storms here. So the skirmish action would get you a +3. He does have Rampant Hatreds. He won't be able to use it till next turn. Oh no.
Ichi dropping his own Skytear Discharge.
Okay.
So good.
So Estrida coming out into the lane here is going to deal 2+ the flip piercing. Gonna drop right there, I guess, and target Yami. 1 damage, so bounces off her armor. And we see, in response, 3 damage to Estrida. So I guess we're going to attack
trigger Revenge.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to trigger Revenge.
Yep. So this will be 1+ the flip here for Ryan onto Yami, who is currently at 18 HP. So she's just going to kind of brush this off regardless of what the flip is. Oh, and a -1.
Yeah, revenging on armor is never fun.
Mm-hmm.
especially
Yeah.
without
So Ryan's attacking the
Freya.
minion, and to me, I think this is his play. One of the best plays I think he has to win is to take out that Nexus. I just don't know if he can kill 3 heroes before he loses one.
Yeah.
So to me, a Nexus defeat is going to be, I think, his best chance at winning this here. But either way, it's an uphill battle for Ryan.
Yeah, especially given that Kichi led.
Yeah, I mean, I think that losing the HP there is just so the antithesis of what you want here.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, he just dies. Hokusai with a worship skirmish attack just kills you. If there's a shield slam, even better.
Yami is playing a Doom.
Okay.
Stop heals for the...
Okay. Well, no, Freyhill's not on the field, so shapeshifting wouldn't give her anything. And I mean, I guess Gilbjorn could potentially heal Astrida. Oh, Shillavi's Astrida. Okay, yeah, no.
No, I think he's doing it just to prevent the heals.
Yeah.
So
I think
after Kirito declared his activation.
I sure hope so, or otherwise I'm not sure why the play there, but
Yeah, I assume that's in response to the activation.
Yes.
That's the only thing I can gather.
Yeah, but I mean,
then I feel like this isn't the time to do it.
Right.
Because he's going to be able to do it first action on next turn too, right?
Yeah.
I guess that this makes him not get free mana this turn. I don't know. We'll have to ask him about it.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. Hokusai already activated this turn. I'm not keeping track of that. Whoops.
I just thought you meant the first action of next round.
That's what I meant. That is absolutely what I meant. Of course. We're gonna make the save here. I mean, yeah, with Hokusai next turn, I forget if Clinton has Rampant Hatred. No, even without Rampant Hatred, like if you have a Supernova, or you could use an Impervious Shield Slam attack action against Astrida, like, I just don't see how Astrida survives. So.
Yeah, it's real low. I mean, she was down this low before she healed back up to almost full before, though. So.
Right.
It's not
like that with Frail on the board, though.
No, it was Nourish and Sacrifice spam.
Okay. I mean, Freya was on the board, but it wasn't because of her shapeshift.
Right. Yeah, it was not because of the Queen of Life ability. Now, this Gilbjorn skirmish attack could do +3 on the skirmish against Hokusai. So that's going to deal 1 damage after armor.
Why is it dealing 1 damage?
Because it's +3.
Gilbjorn is not shapeshifted. So
he's not. You're right. I missed that. I forgot that Gilbjorn himself was not shapeshifted.
I just was thinking I missed something.
Nope. It was I who missed. All right, so an attack against Gilbjorn.
Attack against Hokusai.
Yeah, attack from Gilbjorn against Hokusai. And Gilbjorn playing through the eyes against Hokusai. All right, so Ryan probably senses that Hokusai is going to do something to try and kill Astrida. The problem is that Kichi and Yami can also do that.
Yeah. I think that Yami just marks attacks, skirmishes.
Yep. And given that...
the Hokusai passive is still going to be there.
Indeed.
For the minus armor. Mm-hmm. He's got to hope to have some good 3-mana cards in his hand, I think.
Yes. And I know...
He does have 6 in hand.
Yes.
He's got a huge hand.
Yeah, he's burned through 3 Gathering Storms to get his hand size that high. And a lead from the hand to finish the round. Okay.
It was 3 Gathering Storms this round, right?
Yeah. I think so, yeah.
Yeah, because Frail had played one too.
Yep. Oh, and Kichi's going to bring out the Nightmare Incarnate, dropping Astrida down to 4 HP. Oh, boy. So, really, Dark Vigilante's dead. He's not going to be doing anything. OG will activate for Ryan, and then Clinton is just going to kill Ryan.
Clinton even won the middle. Ryan only led with 2.
Oh, no. Oh, that's unfortunate. So, Ryan loses that minion, and the control token advances back towards Ryan by 2. Got it. Now for the fun part of TTS, trying to get the control hex and the minis to cooperate with you. Hey, random thought, but I just realized, when we let the new cards on the field, if you put a hero at the very edge of the dome, like the very edge facing from the opponent's side, like so for example, from Clinton's perspective to Dome 2 or Ryan's perspective to Dome 3, you can use Kamaya's smokescreen and they don't contribute to the control token. That's going to be awesome. I think that's going to be big. Maybe. We'll see. All right. So, random thought of the day over. So, Outsider does activate for Ryan, as Shillaby does win it uncontested.
Only place that it can spawn, too.
Yep.
That's sick. Lead.
Well, that's all you needed. I mean, actually,
from the deck.
Yep. Didn't really need anything to lead, actually, since Shillaby's the only hero in the dome. So, what do we do here? Do we attack Kichi? I mean, the problem is it doesn't really matter what you do, because all 3 of Clinton's heroes are going to be able to kill Astrida.
Yeah, I mean, guess you attack Kichi? You probably definitely draw a card. And then attack Skirmish Kichi? Because the Shockwave isn't going to get you where you need to go.
Right.
Because Yami can just get wherever she wants.
Mm-hmm.
So it's probably an attack.
Yami goes where she pleases. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and attack Kichi, it looks like, bringing him down to 7 hit points.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, go even with a skirmish and a shockwave that would get +3s on both. Kichi does not die, so we do see the shockwave play there from Kichi, or from the Outsider against Kichi, bringing him down to 6. And it looks like a worship action, because Gilbjorn is now shapeshifted.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was the first action that he took.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Yep.
And then now Ryan needs to pray for rain in his hand.
Yeah,
yes.
You have to hope you draw some heal.
Some heal and some, like, control of some sort.
So, if he has Rampant Hatred with Gilbjorn, that could potentially be a +6 skirmish. Oh, no, you need not to to Shillaby, so that would be a +5 skirmish, though, against 2 people. Not...
Right, but Clinton gets to go first.
Right.
A big problem.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Oh, boy.
He's just...
yeah, that's just a discard. Okay.
I'm looking through Ryan's discard pile.
Okay.
There are 2 sinkholes in the discard pile, so there's a good chance he has one in hand.
Okay.
Looks like all of the heal cards are in his discard pile.
Okay.
I see 3 nourishes. He may have 1 sacrifice left still in hand.
Okay, Gilbjorn could play that to help Astrida.
So I think his best bet here is if he's got a sinkhole, he's going to need to make sure he uses that to the maximum effectiveness to save Astrida.
Yep. So you can use the sinkhole to stop Hokusai from killing Astrida. I don't see how you use the sinkhole to stop Yami. All right, so Clinton is going to activate and skirmish. It looks like Kichi is going. Kichi is going to skirmish and target Astrida there, so that's going to be 2 damage there to Astrida. And what's going to kill it? Is it an attack? Is it a kneel before me from Yami? Looks like the attack has been declared. This is where you need to show that sinkhole, Ryan.
Yeah, it's going to force a sinkhole or like a chasm if he has it.
Yep. I think the chasms are on another hero. Nope. The chasms are on Astrida. 2 on Astrida, 1 on Brilbar, so he could have chasms.
Yeah, there's 2 in the discard pile right now.
That's all he has then, because the third one's on Brilbar. So no chasms. Okay, there's the sinkhole.
Sinkhole.
All right, so we do see that's going to be the target hex. And Yami plays Kneel Before Me.
Kneel Before Me is the key here.
Yep, so Kneel Before Me deals 4 damage and then drags the hero adjacent to Yami. We don't really care about that so much as the damage, because Astrida will not be able to survive unless Ryan has some way to stop Kneel Before Me.
even if she does survive, she can still put her in the middle of the lane, so the sinkhole won't.
Oh,
Ryan is playing a redirect.
Okay, so that means that Kneel Before Me has to target Gulbjorn now, or the outsider, I guess technically.
But then now he can throw Gulbjorn into the dome.
Nope, that's targeting the outsider. Yeah. Ryan gets to choose the target, so Ryan is directing it towards the outsider, and the outsider cannot actually move. So the outsider takes 2 damage down to 18, and it looks like Astrida's alive. Oh, so also the outsider is slowed. Not that really matters, because the outsider can't move anyways. I mean, if you were going to play like a exhaustion or something, or whatever, I don't know, but... Alright, so now the sinkhole resolves. And so we'll see exactly what this sinkhole is going to do here. I assume...
All he needs to do is push Yami.
Yeah, I assume that... Yeah, I know he's going to move Yami, but... does he move Hokusai or Kichi anywhere?
Now, this was Kichi's activation, right?
It is Kichi's activation, correct.
So I think you need to put Astrida in the dome, don't you?
Well, the problem is the hex that is center to Yami, Kichi, and Hokusai was the targeted hex. Okay, no, so he is... Okay, yeah. So, yeah, that was the targeted hex. So you can then place the AoE like so, and so now Astrida and Yami are moved as appropriate. You're correct. That was...
she also could have just pushed Yami one and down.
Yes.
One away from the cover hex, and then the attack would fizzle, right?
Also true, yes. Because once the line of sight was removed, then the attack does fizzle. So Astrida does survive barely, for now.
Still going to be hard to avoid that Hokusai worship.
Yeah, the Hokusai worship, the Yami worship, because now Astrida and Gulbjorn are basically out of mana. Astrida does have 1 mana left. Shinobi does have 3, so that is a possibility if that becomes relevant somehow. Oh, Kichi's going to play Curse of the Years, so this is an alt we don't get to see often. So Kichi's ultimate Curse of the Years cuts a enemy target hero HP in half, and then if the hero is marked, Kichi heals for the same amount.
So it looks like he's going to worship first and then play the card.
Right. So we do see the worship there on Gulbjorn. That makes much more sense because Kichi is at 6 HP, and this is going to do 9 damage to Gulbjorn. So you definitely want to get that healing back to max HP for Kichi.
Yeah. That's going to make Ryan's time real hard.
Yes. As it was possible for Gulbjorn to possibly secure a kill against Kichi, this makes it really hard.
Can I just pause for a second and say, does Ryan, or does Clinton have 3 mana cards in his deck?
He does. I know, it's a shock.
What's happening?
Well, remember, this was the Mixed Maps series, so Clinton had to put some in for the 2-lane.
Didn't have to.
That doesn't sound like Clinton.
I mean, that's true. You don't have to, but he did. He did it. All right, so we see there Gulbjorn's HP cut in half down to 9. Somehow the control hex managed to get itself as like a luau around Gulbjorn's neck there, so we have to reposition that. And
he's wearing a hat.
It's true. I want to make a Thomas the Tank Engine reference with Sir Topham Hatt, but I can't come up with a good one at this point.
I think you just did.
Well, that's Kichi's third action, right? So skirmish attack worship, so he's done.
The problem is he has to survive 2 more actions.
Right.
2 activations, I mean.
Yes. And Song of the Siren is off the table for Ryan now. Okay, so Gulbjorn is going to skirmish, so this will deal 3 plus damage, or plus 3 damage, so that's 4 damage, minus 1 armor, does deal 3 damage to Yami. Brings her to 15, which again
is he trying to form the wall again?
I mean, I don't know that helps. Astrida's at 2.
It doesn't.
And with Clinton's deck, a worship from Hokusai guarantees a kill, as there are no zeros in Clinton's deck.
He could also have the sacrifice, right? Oh no, he can't play it anymore.
Yeah, he can't play. He just used up all the Bjorn mana.
And Shillavi can't play Sacrifice, so... Alright, gonna attack, so that's gonna be 3 damage against Yami, less 1 armor, brings her down to 12.
What are we pinging?
I was just pinging the deck to... He needs to shuffle the deck right now.
Shuffle your deck!
Immediately, according to the competitive or comprehensive rules.
Yes.
Yep.
Courtesy of Tape. Also, speaking of shuffling the deck, another random point while we're waiting for the final actions. I love how you only need to hit the shuffle button once to shuffle it, but everyone just like mashes it a couple times. It's just very satisfying to do.
Yeah, it doesn't get real random until you hit it at least 3 times.
I've always been told that when you're shuffling a deck, you need to shuffle it 7 times to get a real disbursement. So I hit that R key a good 7 times.
Also, as a important point to note, due to Astrida's being within 3 of Gilbjorn, we do see now disarms being thrown down whenever a shapeshifted hero within 3 hexes does damage with their attack action within 3 hexes of Astrida. It does apply disarm. And of course, we did see Hokusai get disarmed from the Through the Eyes last round, so that's why both of them currently have their disarms on them. Which does make it a little bit more difficult. Oh boy. We're popping the flux for something. What is Clinton going to do?
Okay, we're throwing a Doom.
Okay. Well.
But he can't see anybody.
Clear Mind.
Clear Mind.
Oh, Clear Mind.
So he's removing
the disarm.
The disarm.
Yep.
Shillavi is responding with Dance of the Predator? What?
I don't know why.
You
trying to kill Yami?
You can't kill Yami with this. This is going to do 2 plus a flip twice.
Oh, it's going to disarm her again.
Okay, that makes sense.
How does it attack?
Yeah, no, it's not an attack action.
It's not an attack.
This... Are you... Oh, maybe he's...
I think it's fine, though.
So I think he might be using Dance of the Predator to position himself into the cover hex so that Yami can only worship damage against Astrida.
Oh, she can place on top of the control.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. You're right. Never mind. Ignore me. I'm wrong again.
So Hokusai is playing an Impervious targeting Yami. So Yami's going to have +2 armor going into this Dance of the Predator.
I'm utterly confused. We're going to have to ask Ryan what the point of this is. Okay, apparently it's to jump on Hokusai, and that somehow lets the... I don't even know what's going on here. All right, so Dance of the Predator...
Attacking a minion.
Yeah, Dance of the Predator does allow you to move Shillavi 3 hexes and then deal 2 plus a flip to an adjacent enemy hero or minion. And if she is shapeshifted, you can repeat that action again. And so now we went and damaged Kichi for 3 damage as well. Yami is now going to worship against Astrida, and that is a dead Astrida.
And that is an onslaught.
And that is onslaught victory for Clinton.
All right.
All right, let's go and hop into the channel and talk with our players. Good game.
Response to the Curse of Years.
Yeah.
But I messed up that sinkhole. Also, you made me use the redirect, but I couldn't use Song of Siren.
Nice.
I also drew Glacial Rebirth that last turn.
Hey, guys.
That's too much for me.
Good game.
Hey.
Nice job, Clinton.
What
a
a bizarre game, by the way.
You can take that to Kirito. I will tell you, I have a piece of paper here tracking revenges. I grabbed a piece of paper and I wrote them all out to make sure we didn't miss something.
And what was your count, Clinton? How many revenges triggered?
Well, at least in that one, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different revenges.
That's a lot of revenges.
That was the one that was the turn that killed
Frail,
right?
Yeah. So I had a Nightmares Incarnate in hand, so the goal was to try to snipe the outsider kill.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so I was trying to like monitor that, so when you were within basically 3, I could have Kichi cast it to get the outsider kill.
Yeah, I shouldn't have gone for it. I had a strategy. My plan was to play it very safe and not take any risks. And then I would just literally all the cards I was drawing that game were Discharge and Gathering Storm. I'm like, well, I guess I need to go for it. I was not drawing anything, so I'm just I saw the double Discharge and I fell for the bait. It was a stupid play.
I do think that I think what you were going for, correct me if I'm wrong, this is interesting to kind of like lock yourself in the dome round one. I was actually starting to get concerned that you were just going to stay in the dome and have the outsider plink my guys and just like wait till like round 3 when my cards are horrible and like the 3 cards are great, right?
That was my plan basically. I'm going to have all these sinkholes and chasms and rampant hatreds, and like you're not going to do much to these guys. Like I have my heals.
Mm-hmm.
I also the reason I brought Astrida was for the disarms. I wanted to disarm you guys. Brilvar comes as charms and presence, and I'm like that doesn't really do much for me here. Of course, Astrida also brings the Gathering Storms, which apparently my deck wanted to give me all of. But yeah, that was my thinking. And then I was like planning to use Astrida, like step out, shoot a minion, and all that. And then if I needed to, the last hero I would have let in the lane, but I wanted to do it with the last one, so I didn't open them up.
Yeah,
but I bailed from the strategy, and that was stupid of me.
So that's when I started to actually use my Astrida against you, because I figured you were wanting to skirmish out, do some attacks, and move back in.
Mm-hmm.
So I started to then use my Yami to also block you off, so that you couldn't do these skirmish attack moves, right, in and out of the dome.
Yeah.
So the one thing is, if you didn't have that redirect, I really wanted to pull off the kneel before me to put you in this spot and have Hokusai shield slam with Impervious. But you didn't let me have it. You had to redirect it.
I thought that was a cool redirect, though.
It was a good redirect.
It was great.
It was good. Especially against the outsider who's got 2 shields. Like,
yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So when you had blocked me off, you blocking me off there really messed me up. So before the game, I was talking about how I wanted to switch the tokens. The reason for that was, if yours is 2, I can leave a hole on both sides, and then I can see where the DV spawns and block the other side.
Sure, I gotcha.
So, which is why I wanted yours to be 2. And if that was 2 on that frail turn, I probably would have just moved and made an opening for Astrida to get out.
Mm-hmm. Sure, yeah.
But
actually, because of me being the one that got caught the last time with Michael, that's why I didn't move Kichi and keep him into the dome. Right? I left him out because I didn't want this to push all the way. For one. Because if my DV spawns here, cleanup's going to be much more difficult, right? I mean, I can still get these like 2 that are here, but it made it more difficult to get down here. So I kind of wanted them to come in from this side if I needed to. So that's why I kind of kept them out. The other thing that's funny is when if I would have stayed in, I did have the Doom at that time when I tried to cast a Doom and I couldn't see Frey Hill, but and that one I would have prevented. Like, what did you heal? Like 10 health you heal round 1.
I healed a lot at the end of the round there.
You did, like you said, you did a sacrifice and 2 nourishes.
Yeah, 2 nourishes. I mean, you would have only prevented one of them. Because the other.
Because you could have spawned out the rest of the room. Yep. But you did a lot of them on Astrida at that time. So.
Yeah, if you had stayed in though, I would have just done it like that.
Sure.
And so I still had a block.
What's your question, Tim?
I was going to ask, the turn that he killed Frail, and Goldburn was here, and you had it was Astrida here, and you doomed Astrida? What was the doom about?
I thought he was going to heal, and it was just trigger happy. And I played the doom on Frey Hill before, but I couldn't see her, and we talked about that. And then it was like I was trigger happy on the doom. And then I like look over and he already spent the mana and I'm like, whatever, I did it. I did it.
Okay. I was just trying to make sure I wasn't missing something.
Right, yeah, we were
No, it was like there was no reason for it at all.
Yeah, it was like I played it because I was trigger happy because I'm always scared of not Freyhill but of Astrida like healing, right?
Sure.
So when Freyhill worships, that's what I was thinking was happening, but she was gone, so I didn't have anything to worry about.
Okay.
It was just a misplay. I'll give you, Kirito threw me off, right? halfway through like round one, I'm like, uh-oh. Like, this is not going to play like normal.
Yeah.
And at the end of...
when I said it was bizarre.
Yeah, at the end of like round one into like round two, I'm like, okay, I guess I'm going for Nexus Destruction, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I started to kind of head those bets. Mm-hmm. And then the revenge trigger started to happen. And I'm like, oh.
So this isn't what we're going to do now, is it?
I can just have him do all the work and then snipe the kills.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it was a bizarre game. Fun game, but bizarre.
Yeah, that frail play was a huge misplay. The other misplay was when I used the sinkhole. I should have pulled Kichi one towards me, and then I would have used the Dance of the Predator to kill Kichi.
Yeah.
Mm.
In response to the Curse of Years. I knew we had the Kneel Before Me and Curse of Years in hand. I checked, so I was trying to play around them both. So I should have done that, but I saw that was the play I was originally going to go for, and then I saw other things. I'm like, ooh, this looks like a fun play, and then I just. But I think
cool that you had basically 3 reactions for that whole round. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, even if I kill Kichi there, like.
The only thing is, I did have that.
Yeah, that is
Shield.
useful.
Great card.
Very good card.
But like, even if you don't have the Psychic Shield and I get the kill there, like, all it does for me is it draws me 2 cards, and I hope I find a Nourish.
Sure.
Mm.
Sure. So.
Yeah, after the killing Freyhill and then him getting the DV kill, it's just like you're so far behind at that point.
Right.
It's just so hard to come back.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And the lane was favored for me too.
Yeah, and you're winning the middle. It's just like
if I had just continued playing it safe, I think I would have had a chance there. I think I should have just. See, the question was, am I supposed to go into the lane a little early, or am I supposed to come back here? Because I needed to make some sort of opening for Astrida. But if I come into the lane, I'm worried that Kichi goes into the dome then, because the DV fucks me over.
Yep.
If I had opened up a hole and let Kichi get into or open up the hole and put for the DV, does Kichi go to the dome, or do you keep pushing for Nexus?
It depends. If you left someone in the lane, I could see me going for the DV to try to go after that person that kind of put him in that situation. But I had to calculate if the token would have hit the tower, because if the token hits the tower, I probably don't go for the DV. I just go for more Nexus Destruction. Mm-hmm. It depends. I'd have to recalculate it, like on the fly. Yeah. Like, I mean, that's the thing about Skytear, right? Yep. One little change is it's a butterfly effect. You don't know what's gonna change in the game and how you play because of that. I mean, like, we go back to the one round where I had Kichi down here. I actually had Unstoppable and the Flux, so I could have went and actually did 2 attacks, but I didn't want to move in a position where Goldjarn could come in and hit all 3 of my guys. So that's why I kept him back here, and I played it safe where I led with that card instead of playing that card.
Okay, that makes sense.
So
yeah, I think what I should have done with that frail activation is, I mean, skirmish, attack a minion, and then just move back in here. I do leave a hole here, which means if you go for the DV, I could potentially get screwed over by that. But then it allows Astrida to get out and do some stuff too. I think that's the way I should have played it. The issue I had with that was you could have moved and skirmish and then block there, and then I would have been completely trapped in the dome.
Oh yeah, I did think about moving Kichi to block you.
Like, as soon as you moved Yami there, I'm like, oh man, I can't believe I missed that. I was so mad at that.
Yeah.
Like, that was frustrating. I wish I had.
Yeah, it's kind of the reverse. It's like, you want to keep in the dome, you stay in the dome.
Yeah. My wall became my prison.
Yeah. Well, it's a good game. Like I said, I enjoyed it. Congratulations on making the top cut and everything. I think you're going to be close on shards, right?
I need to either get top 3 in one of them in either the last 2 or make top cuts in both.
Okay. Cool.
Because I have made top cuts without getting top 3 like I think 3 or 4 times now.
Yeah.
It happens to the best of us.
Yep.
Well,
thanks
guys,
for
thanks for
that.
playing. It was a really fun game to watch.
Yes, very much so. Any final thoughts from anyone?
No, great game, and I look forward to seeing what happens with the new meta shift with the new heroes. I think it's going to be interesting and keep it fresh.
It's going to be so good.
Oh, yeah. Kamaya, Shadris,
blue.
Nintaka. Oh, yeah, down with blue. Release the spirits. Remove the blue dominance.
Yeah, you say that after the top 2 decks in this qualifier were green.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Why you gotta steal the thunder like that, man?
It's my job.
It's true. All right, well, thank you very much then. On behalf of Ryan, Clinton, Tim, Ian, and myself, thank you all for joining us. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we will see you guys in the next game. Have a good afternoon.